Kristen with Bariatric Mindset here, coming to talk to you about the 5 steps to cultivating a success mindset after weight loss surgery. I am a 4-year VSG post-op, and I am also a psychotherapist. But I'm going to come to you today talking to you as a post-op first. I've got to tell you, I can do live streams all day long, but jumping up here on YouTube is so stressful, so stressful. And I am fully bringing the mindset today with me because this is a trigger. Getting on YouTube is a trigger for me. I can talk in front of hundreds of people. I can talk on a stage. I was at OH last year, 2017. I don't even know how many people I talked in front of. The room was packed. If you go on the OH website, you will find me there. You will see me there. I was there. But doing YouTube videos absolutely scares the piss out of me. And I don't know why. Because I can do live streams all day long in my group of over 1,000 people. And I can talk to people on a stage. No problem. But YouTube videos, I don't know what it is. It's a total mind F. Anyways, I am totally bringing the calm today because I think that this is something that is huge. Understanding what the triggers are, understanding what your triggers are, and that is part of what's really important for cultivating a what I call the bariatric mindset, which is what I have titled my YouTube channel. And also really reaching for success, because every single one of us is going to have pitfalls. I am human, just like you. I'm a VSG post-op. I'm a bariatric weight loss surgery patient post-op, just like you. I struggle with all of these things. Just because I have a bunch of degrees in psychology doesn't mean that I don't have all the same stuff. I do. But I think that that's also so powerful to share that with you, because I go back and forth, and a lot of times when I hear myself talk, I'm like, oh, that's good advice. I need to take that. So it's really important that we focus on, which is number 1, the food and the feelings. So it's really interesting. I'm being completely vulnerable here and completely open when I say that when I was approached first to start doing YouTube videos to really expand and share my message with more people, all I wanted to do was shove food in my mouth. And then I was like, this is really powerful because first of all, I'm aware of it, which is awesome. That's step 1. You want to have awareness. But also, it was the anxiety. It was the stress that I experienced. It was the overwhelm. It was the that I know so many people go through. And that really brought me to, Kristen, you have got to talk about this. You have got to share this, because there are so many people who are intimidated. There's so many people who turn to food and who may not even realize it. So one of the first things that I'm going to talk to you today about cultivating a success mindset after weight loss surgery is really about understanding your feelings, knowing your feelings when it comes to food. And I think that this is huge. Maybe I should have titled it Knowing Your Triggers, because for me, it's jumping on YouTube and doing videos. But for other people, it could be your boss yelling at you, or your spouse yelling at you, or you getting into a fight with your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or worrying if you're going to lose your job, or worrying if you're going to pay your mortgage this month, or because there's so many different things that people are going through in terms of financial struggles, emotional struggles, relationship struggles, familial struggles. I know in the future I'm going to be posting on how to tell your family that you're having weight loss surgery, because that's a huge one too if you haven't already done it, because they're not everybody's supportive, gotta tell you that. I'm blessed, grateful, lucky, all of those things, but I know a lot of people that I work with and talk to who aren't so lucky and really have a lot of haters out there. So, But when it comes to the food and the feelings, it's important to know what your triggers are. And for me, it happens to be YouTube. So I think what's really important of cultivating a success mindset, knowing what your triggers are, because then you can overcome them, right? So here I am, exposure therapy. I am doing it. I am here. I have my water, and I'm going through it. I am plowing through, acknowledging how I feel. And I know that I'm not going to die. I know I'm going to get through the other side. But again, so many people who have not been able to feel their feelings through without eating, right? Because that's one of the things. If the food calms your brain down, it makes you feel safe, right? It's one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is, okay, so what do I do now that I can't have the food? Replacement behaviors is a whole other conversation. But for this talk, I just want to talk about acknowledging, understanding, recognizing what your triggers are, because it's not just the first 6 months in the honeymoon, right? It's not just the first year. It's the second year and the third year and the fourth year and the fifth and the sixth and the 10th and the 11th and the 20th. So if you haven't cultivated this success mindset, if you haven't worked on, oh crap, I'm struggling with this and I just want to shove food in my mouth, then that's something that you've really got to conquer, because that's something that can cause regain in the long term. Actually, in 2017, another very vulnerable moment, my dad passed away. And the whole week that we were in the hospital, I was very focused and very attentive to my plan. I watched everything that I ate, and I really did my best in terms of accountability. And so I see this because I have people who come into my office now. I'm kind of switching over to the professional side. I have people come to my office and they say, I have to care for an elderly parent, or I have to care for my grandchildren, or I'm really struggling because, somebody in my family has cancer, or somebody in my family has been put in hospice, and all I want to do is eat. So the same kind of thing where there's this emotional overwhelm that takes over, and you've got to work with it, right? Because the food at some point in your life was used to soothe, to calm down your emotions. And so what's really important is that you get a handle on those things so that you can no longer use food to soothe yourself, to calm yourself. It's important that you use some other tools to really help you, like, right? Chill. One of the things that I really, really like, you can find them on YouTube, are progressive muscle relaxation videos. Obviously, do not do them while driving, but they are great, like at the end of the day. Another thing I really like are deep breathing videos, because they actually get more oxygen in your body and to your brain. Because a lot of times when you're going through overwhelm or you're dealing with emotional struggles, you might not even be aware of this, but you go into shallow breathing, because if your brain goes into a state of fight flight and you're freaking out, your brain goes bing 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 bing, bing, and you're not really focusing on anything. You're literally kind of at this very basic level where your brain is like, okay, I just need to figure out how to calm myself down. And your go-to strategy or tool before was food, and now it's not. And so it's important that you make a list of things that you can do when you go into that state of fight flight, when you are like not breathing normally, right? So awareness is really step one. And then step two is like relying on these tools. So making a list of things you could do, whether it's calling someone or journaling or progressive muscle relaxation, which progressive muscle relaxation, let me be real, unless you're at home alone or someplace, because it's very intricate, and it's like, calm relax your scalp, relax your ears. Like it's not something that you're going to be able to do at work, or else you'll look like a total blithering idiot. Like, it's just not going to happen. Breathing exercises, however, are really going to be helpful, because if your boss is like, hey, I need that report on my desk in 20 minutes. And you're like, oh crap, I haven't even started it yet. that you can do very quickly and very easily, because you need to get the oxygen to your brain so that you can think clearly. Because if you're in a state of fight flight, you're not going to be able to access that higher level thinking. You're not going to be able to think as clearly. So it's important that you do breathe, because at that point in time, your brain's like, we're going to get eaten by a lion. Like, what are we going to do? And then your old habits and patterns kick in. So that's another reason why it's important to have new tools, new habits and patterns to support you. And if you need a list of things, keep it on your desk, keep it at home, put it on your phone in the notes section. That's important. Another great way to cultivate a success mindset is to consistently get your body in motion. Do you guys remember that commercial? Like, a body in motion stays in motion. It's so true, because, and I'm not saying you have to go and become an Olympic bodybuilder or anything like that, but you've got to be consistently moving. Another thing that will happen is if you have an emotional overwhelm or a freak out, getting your body in motion is actually going to help you to get out of your head. So if you are freaking out, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, you're in overwhelm, repeating that over and over actually isn't going to get you out of overwhelm. But maybe, getting into your body, going and doing a sprint, running, and I mean, you're in your office, like jumping jacks, something, close the door. Just do something quickly that you can get out of your head. Because a lot of times when you're in your head, you're not thinking so rationally and so clearly, and you need something, again, to bring you back down, to kind of calm you down without the use of food. Okay, so that may be something that you can do, stand up, jump up and down, something like that. But also keeping your body in motion on a consistent basis is also going to help you with that success mindset. Why? Because when your body is fitter, your brain is fitter. It's just one of those things. So another thing, overcoming stalls. So I see a lot of people freaking out over stalls. And cultivating a success mindset means overcoming the stalls. And actually, overcoming the stalls and resilience, 3 and 4, those are like my little steps. Resilience and overcoming the stalls are kind of go hand in hand, because after having weight loss surgery, I know before weight loss surgery, I was like, is this really going to work? Is this really going to last? Is this really going to help me? And the answer is yes. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I'm down 201 pounds, whoop, whoop, and holding. So what's really, really, really important is that you build resilience and that you also overcome the stalls. Because guess what? There's going to be lots of stalls. There's going to be many, many stalls. And each person is different. So I'm not going to say like, you're having 10 stalls and you have 15 stalls and you're just going to have 5. Lucky you. It just depends on so many different things. How you're doing with your foundational tools, such as getting in your protein, getting in your water, your supplements, how frequently you're exercising. And there's so many other things, like your own personal health conditions, if there's any other predetermining factors, and your muscle mass and your height and weight and da 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 da. So, but really, overcoming stalls. Stalls are going to happen. So, and then that's a whole other video that I'll talk about later. But in terms of overcoming stalls, going back to basics and really practicing the mental resilience, knowing like, okay, this stall is not going to last. I'm going to get through this. Because if you freak out about a stall, your brain is going to go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And a lot of times stalls, you guys are going to... Stalls can be just as much mental as they are physical. Okay, follow me here. So I'm sure you've heard of the placebo effect. And so I've seen where there are people who so focus on the weight or the number on the scale that they freak themselves out to a point that their stall has become mental, right? Now, I'm not saying this is everybody, but don't freak yourself out. Refocus on your basics, refocus on, you know, the pillars, so to speak, of bariatric success. So your protein, your water, your supplements, your sleep, your exercise, right? Those things to make sure that you are, and then of course check your stress, because if you're stressed, that's a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, cortisol, and it's a whole other video. But really recognizing that you can and will overcome the stalls, and just listen to your body and kind of trust the process. But this is also being resilient to what life throws at you. And believe me, I've had tons of people that say, hey, you have no clue what I'm going through. And I get it. And I'm not saying that I totally know what you're going through, but I've worked with people who, like, you know, mom died, dad went and had cancer, daughter had stuff, like people who've had crap happen to them all at once, and, you know, familial stuff, you know, financial stuff. And I get it. There's a lot, right? We're all going through a lot. And I do not minimize that at all. That increases the stress overall. But it's also important that you check in with your feelings and that you are resilient, because as you go through things, right, from an emotional piece, there will be stress. There will be things that you work through that you need to overcome. And this whole process of having weight loss surgery is ultimately about your life and health. And it's ultimately about who you want to be, who you want to become. And it's not just about the weight, but really creating this lasting change so that you can live your best life. And when, you know, stuff comes out of thin air and you're freaking out, that is something that you've got to work through. So I totally empathize with you there. But also developing a resilience of, okay, I'm going to get through this, and this too shall pass. And if you're going through that much all at once, then it's going to be more than just YouTube videos that are going to help you get through it. I strongly recommend that you find a counselor in your area to help you get through that stuff, because those are big whoppers, right? Those are really deep and difficult things to get through by yourself on your own. And so I definitely encourage you to reach out to a counselor or therapist in your area to get additional support. Okay. But in overcoming the stalls, going back to that and developing resilience, the stalls are kind of part of how you're going to develop the resilience, because once you've been through a couple stalls, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to get through it. And when you have difficulty in your life, I always say that, you know, we've got speed bumps. And I think there was a quote the other day that I saw that said, don't let a flat tire, what was it? Don't shoot the air out of your other 3 tires after having just one. Or like, you didn't come up the mountain to get stopped at a hill. Like, we're gonna come across obstacles in this process. You're gonna experience things like, and I'm not gonna say regain, but I see a lot of times where people will say like, oh my gosh, I've gained 4 pounds. Well, so let me keep it real here. I gain 4 pounds a month on my period, and then I lose it again after my period's over. TMI for any guys that are listening, sorry. But it's true. Like, I think you've also got to know, ladies who are watching, for your monthly cycle, how much do you lose? How much do you gain? When you're on your cycle, it's typically water weight. But if you have gained more over a period of a month, then I think it's important to, like, you know, check where it's at and what you're doing. So track your food, track your eating, track your workouts and things like that. But overall, that's what I mean by building resilience. Is like, when you hit a stall, you're like, okay, so what do I need to do? Refocus on my basics. I'm going to get through this. So that's what I mean by cultivating this mindset and being resilient and not letting every little thing get to you. Right? So maybe before surgery, there were things that got to you, or you had that mindset of, oh my gosh, I'm regaining, or oh my gosh, this isn't working. So don't get yourself too worked up. You've got to trust your process. You've got to listen to your body. You've also got to, track and see what you're doing, because if you're driving through, Taco Bell and having chalupas or something, you've got to check your diet. You've got to check your meal plan, what you're eating and things like that. Refocus on protein, back to basics. And then it becomes a matter of what, where is that mindset? Are you kind of going back to the old mindset, the pre-surgery mindset, where you were like, meh, whatever's easy? Or are you on a diet mindset where you're so restricted? This is a lifestyle change. I fully believe in, this is a stomach surgery, not brain surgery, but I fully believe that having weight loss surgery, as I call it, bariatric surgery, is a lifestyle change. And I definitely think that returning to basics and staying on basics are what really are going to get you the long-term results. And everybody, myself included, has flips, or what I call flip ups or mess ups, or days where you're not eating on plan. But what's important is the consistency. If you're consistently eating on plan, then that's what's going to show in your results. That is what you're going to see at the end of the day. However, if you're consistently eating off plan and not focused on your goals, not focused on, meal planning, hitting the basics and things like that, then that's what's going to show on the scale, or in your clothes, or, and how you feel about yourself. So my fifth step is really being success focused. So what is it that you want to achieve? I think that goals are very important. And for me, goals are not the number on the scale. It's how I feel in my body. It's how I feel in my clothes. And for a lot of the people that I work with, it's how they feel about themselves. So your goal may be to get a tummy tuck. Your goal may be to get in a bikini this summer. Whatever your goal is, whether it's to get into those size 4 jeans, or to just feel good enough so that you can go on a 4-mile hike, or to feel good enough that you can finally go kayaking. I have to tell you, speaking of kayaking, I think it was, it's been a couple of years now, 2016. So I had my VSG in 2013. 2016, I finally went kayaking. By myself. It was amazing and I loved it, but that was something I was so afraid to do because I thought I would flip the boat. I literally thought I'd flip the boat. So that was one of the goals that I achieved, and it didn't happen until 3 years after surgery, but it happened. It happened. So it's important to be forward focused, success focused. What is it that you want to achieve? And kind of always have something out there that you want to achieve, because that's going to keep you fresh. That's going to keep you focused, and that's going to keep you engaged, right? Having that success focus in front of you always keeps you excited about what's next. And the what's next doesn't stop at goal. It doesn't stop at goal. It goes to what next do you want to achieve, because it's not just the weight loss. It's not. And even after you've achieved goal, there's so much more to achieve in your life beyond the weight. And so that's what I'm here to help you with, is to obviously keep the weight off, get to goal, but also to reach greater heights after you've achieved goal, because there's so much more. And so that you don't self-sabotage when you reach goal, because that's another thing for another video, because there are some people, when you're not success focused, you can kind of circle back around and say, I've spent 20 years focused on the food and focused on my weight. Now what am I going to focus on? I don't have anything to focus on. And then this little internal, not conscious, subconscious, or subconscious is going, okay, well, we have to recreate the struggle over and over and over. And then, regain comes back. That's not the only reason why regain comes back, but it can definitely be one of the factors if you're not success focused and really focused on, okay, this is a lifestyle change, and I'm going to be consistent in the long haul with my basics and with my foundations, and I'm going to get my protein in, and I'm going to get my water in, and all of those things. Because when you get off track and you're not success focused and you're not consistent with the key strategies that you need, then you can kind of go back into those old patterns. And so that's what's important. So kind of going back to step one, practice self-awareness. What are your triggers? What are the feelings that come up for you around food? And are you dealing with them? Are you dealing with them? Are you moving forward with them? Getting your body in motion is number two. Really enjoy your physical activity all the time. I will tell my clients and the people in my Facebook group, like, do whatever makes you happy. If you want to have a dance party, have a dance party. It doesn't have to be this regular like treadmill type, like, oh my gosh, I hate working out. Just get your body in motion and have fun with it. And if you can do some stuff that builds muscle at the same time, awesome. So resilience and overcoming the stalls, they kind of go hand in hand. You really need to work on overcoming the stalls because they will happen. And that's part of really cultivating the success mindset after weight loss surgery, because they will happen. Resilience is about dealing with whatever life hits you. And if you really need extra help with that, seek a professional out to help you. And also with the stalls, if you're stalled for too long, I would say visit your surgeon's office or a dietitian, because they're the ones who are really gonna know if something deeper is going on. Maybe you need to have some blood work done, because there could be something medical going on if you are doing everything that you're supposed to be doing and nothing's happening. So I don't want it to seem like, oh yeah, everybody has stalls, and then you're in a stall for a year. Definitely, if it reaches a point where you're in a stall for more than a couple of months, definitely reach out to your surgeon's office or dietitian or somebody on your surgeon's team, so that they might be able to help you look for a medical reason other than just go back to basics. Because there's nothing worse than calling your doctor and them going, well, are you getting your protein in? Or are you getting your water in? And you being like, yeah, I need to do that. And then really being success focused. What do you want in your life beyond goal? That's what's really important. That's what's going to support you, and really cultivating that success mindset around this whole process, because I know that everybody here is not here to just lose the weight. It's so much deeper than that, so much more than that. You have something that you want to fulfill in your life beyond the weight loss. And so what is it? What is it that's really exciting you, beyond goal? So that's what I'm here to share with you today. Thanks for watching. And for more awesome videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you want additional accountability and support, head on over to my private and free Facebook group, Bariatric Mindset Mavens. And if you haven't picked up your copy of the Amazon bestseller, Bariatric Mindset Success, authored by moi, you can find the link also in the comments below. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please make sure that you give us a thumbs up. And again, subscribe for more videos and content coming. And if you have suggestions for videos, or if you want to reach out, you can email me at Kristin, Kristin, at bariatricmindset.com, and request that I talk about a special topic. Be sure that you check every week for new videos, because we will be having them weekly. And if you have a special topic that you'd like discussed, make sure that you leave it in the comment below or email me. And also, be sure to keep in touch. So I hope that you have an amazing week and you get success focused and change your mindset after having weight loss surgery. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.